Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Battle Beyond Space is an old space game by Z-Man Games, and what you're going to get is a space skirmish game that plays up to 4 players, and really I think it's best with 4, where you're going to be battling it out in a skirmish kind of standpoint. If you don't want to dump the money into like an X-Wing or something like that, and you want something that's just a board game, plays pretty quickly, plays pretty simply, you can play it with your family, then Battle Beyond Space would accomplish that for you. Now this is a game that I will be purging because it doesn't really, we don't play a lot of space skirmish games, doesn't really fit into what we want to do. But you can definitely have a lot of fun with this. Family-friendly, family-level, entry-level experience in the skirmish battle. If you like that, that sounds neat to you. Very easy. You're playing a card, you draw a card, play a card. Really not that difficult to jump into. Battle Beyond Space may whet your appetite. Now, if you're looking for something more strategic, deep, a lot of options, a lot of things about your ships that are different, etc., this is not going to be it. Strictly entry-level stuff here. For me, it's going to be a purge. We don't really play this type of game. Doesn't appeal to me, so it's one I can easily let go. So here's Battle Beyond Space by Z-Man Games. You can see they're really trying to have that Twilight Imperium type of look. I don't know which one came out first, but that Star Wars look of like, we got aliens, we got everybody. And I think they do a good job with that. So we have a rule book here, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. We have a bunch of punch-outs here that we will utilize. We have a board, which will be pretty bland. So this is pretty much, the board's bigger than this, but this is pretty much what's going to look like. A bunch of hexes with the name of the game, scoring, etc. on it. The board's nice. It's big. It's chunky. You're going to get some miniatures here that are okay. I mean, these are old type stuff here. So they're going to have different colors on them, but they're all going to look pretty much the same. They're all right. Well, at least they are miniatures, right, for this time period. You're going to have a deck of cards, which will be in here, and some big, giant bad guys. The cards are okay. The quality is pretty good. Very wordy, as you can see here. Mine came with some bags. Everything is okay. It's aging a little bit, yeah. I mean, the tiles look like this with the asteroids on them and stuff. You can see they're not double-sided, so the quality is okay, but this is from a different time period. So the cards themselves, not a lot of artwork on them. They kind of tell you how things will move, and they have numbers on them, but there's not like a lot of exciting artwork on it that you're looking through here. The quality is okay. You can see the little, they try on the back of it, but you'll never see your guy because you're looking at the cards like this. I guess your opponents are kind of looking at it. That's about it. It's okay. Nothing to write home about. So here's the rule book. You can see a picture with the same people from the front. Very wordy. Lots of white and black here, right? Got some pictures here kind of going over it. The Uber rules. It's very wordy, isn't it? So it's going to kind of fold out from there. Give you some additional rules on collisions and special powers and stuff like that. And then you're going to have the final rules that you'll have and then a little charts and stuff that you can use. This will be a nice little player aid to open it up to do that. I mean, the rules are okay. The game's fairly simple. You probably can get through this in 20-25 minutes. Components just listed here, no pictures, which is a bummer. Right here's really the meat of the game of what you're doing. So, okay, I'd probably give this 6 out of 10 for the rulebook. So I'm just going to show you part of this and kind of how it's set up. So you have to see the asteroids that'll be on the board, and you'll have your fleet of ships over here. So you're also going to take your 9 cards of movement, and you'll have these special cards. You'll take one of these. So now you'll have 10 cards in your hand, and you'll look at your cards. You'll shuffle these up, and you'll be able to take a look at the top movement card so you'll know how your things will move on the first turn. So a few things that you need to know about the game. So only one ship can be in a hex. You can't fly through any obstacles, and you might not fire through any obstacles. So if you're trying to shoot somebody through this, you will not be able to. If you kill a fighter, it's 1 point, but capital ships that are killed are 2 points. So you want to keep that in mind as you're going forward. So the game's going to be pretty easy. You can just turn over the top card. You kind of look at your choice you're going to have, and each card's going to tell you, like, this type can move 3, fire up to 5, turn up to 2, move or turn up to 3, or fire up to 2. So you're going to be able to go through this, and the cards will just kind of tell you how you're going to move. And when you move people, it's very simple. You have to move the exact spaces that are listed on here, move exactly 3, and you'll move each of that kind. Now, you can't do any kind of turning yet until you're ready to attack. So you just move all of those out as you're going through. Let's say you're going this way, 1, 2, 3, etc. And you kind of move those guys out based on the card that's being played. Now, if there's a ship in front of you, everybody who just moved will shoot 5 hexes in front of them. So this guy's right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll be able to shoot and fire at this guy and get a point for doing so. Capital ships are worth 2. So after you move, they will automatically fire. And that will be illustrated on the card. You can see her fire up to 5, etc. Then you can turn people. So if you wanted to move after firing, you can move. Say you want to move him 1, him 1 or 2. You can do so on the board. Now, the big giant capital ships that you'll have on the board, they're going to move differently. They will move based on the bottom of the card. So you can move up or turn 3, and it can fire up to 2. So these guys will be a little bit bigger on the board, but they're worth more points also. You're also going to have these sensor probes that will be on the board. If you're able to capture one of these, they're worth 1 victory point also. And all you got to do to collect one of those is move your guy on top of it, and he stops there. You would collect this, and then you would keep this by your side to illustrate you have 1 additional victory point. Now, at the end of the game, once everything ends, whoever has the most victory points, usually by collecting these or destroying the other ships, you'll count those victory points, and whoever has the most is the winner. Now, the rule book does come with a little bit of a cheat sheet here. You can see reveal the movement card, move the squads, kind of takes you through it takes you through the points, so killing a capital ship, 4 points, 1 for a regular one, and then how to take care of the encounter. So, and if you collide with somebody, if they're enemy fighters, both ships are killed. If you go into an asteroid, moving fighters killed or removed from the game. There's no score for that. So you can do a little bit of collisions on that, and the capital ships, kind of how that works. It's probably a good idea to have this out on the board as you're playing. I think it really makes you. But otherwise, it's very simple. You're going to play a card. You're going to move your ships that many spots, fire if possible, and then turn. And turn is really where your strategy will come into this game. And the other player will then take their turn and continue to do the same thing. So that's Battle Beyond Space. Who should buy this game? Entry levels, somebody who might have a child they want to play a skirmish game with, or just a couple adults. I think it's best with 4, but you want to keep things just simple, play a little board game, but you want that skirmish, that space battle kind of into it. This will definitely appeal to you. If you're looking for a deep analysis, this is not it. Go play X-Wing or something different.